welcome to 40k Monday. And here today we're going to be looking at building a hive warrior or a Tyranid warrior and creating some dramatic posing for your army. Now, first of all, I'm going to answer a couple of questions. Stu asked me, do you dye your hair? No, dude. I'm a 43-year-old man who's lucky enough to have dark hair with flecks of grey in it. I can't help looking like a young 15-year-old, but I do not dye my hair, which I thought was kind of funny. Actually, I did wet myself laughing when I saw that. And because I couldn't respond to your actual thing, because you've got it that I can't respond, but I did respond. No, I don't dye my hair. And somebody asked me, how do you paint with such shaky hands? Well, unfortunately, I had a incident 2 years ago where I suffered some brain damage due to a minor stroke, and my hands all the shakiness is just something from it, unfortunately, and I always had shaky hands, but not as bad as I do these days. And obviously, I'm getting old. Even though I work out like a beast, I'm getting old, dude. Right, so here we have a beautiful piece, which I've got to say, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy. Now, people keep asking me, will you be doing a demonstration build, and will you be doing a paint? Can you show us how you paint up your Tyranids? Well, I'm going to do a bit of both. I'm going to build this up with you guys, and I'm also going to do it on the next video, going to show you how to paint it up. So let's start with what we've got here. Now, it's important to create a narrative piece on your bases, I always think. And I kind of like using cork, because cork creates some beautiful basing, and you can sculpt it up, you can carve it. And just to show you, let me just get my scalpel blade, and this is where it all goes wrong, but you can actually cut into it and do some amazing, strange, alien-esque type landscapes if you just carve it like that. Or if you take your clippers, you can just cut into it like so. Oh, just taking it off my thing there. You can just take into it like so and just pull away chunks out of it like so, and it's that easy. And let's just put it back on here. So we're going to be doing a build up. I always like to have a cork, or I use an old paint bottle with blue tack, because it just helps you when you're painting and stuff like that, being able to move it around. Okay, so I've already stuck the bottom of our Tyranid warrior's legs. Now, the Tyranid warriors are basically the fighting caste or the warrior caste of the Tyranid brood, as far as I can tell. I've got to say, they're really cool, and they look really nice as well. They have that sort of like dragon-esque shape about them, and so what I'm trying to achieve with this is some movement and give it some sort of agility, as though he's actually in the phrase of fighting, and that's what we want. So I've sort of set him at an odd angle straight away, which should be able to give us a bit of a curve on the body. So let's start with the upper section. Now, great thing about the upper section is it comes in two pieces, which I've glued together already. So I've pre-prepped it. Now I'm going to use a bit of super glue just to get this started. And then what I'm going to do is, when that's dry, I'm going to add a bit of plastic glue in there just to get that hold it in there and bond it a little bit better. Okay, so first of all, I want to give it a little bit of a tilt, like so. So while that dries, I'm going to sing you a song, which is one of my favourites. No, I'm not. I'm going to clip to the next section of this video, so we don't have to sit here for 5 seconds or longer while this dries. So guys, I'll see you in a second. And welcome back. So here we have our starting piece. So now we have a nice bit of movement in the body. So if we were to look at it, we've got that. So it's all shifting to one side like this, and then it turns slightly, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a bit of movement. Now, these don't have to be static pieces. You can do as much as you possibly can to make them that little bit more exciting, and you should look at the way the body moves. Take some photographs of friends and stuff, get them to get into the pose that you want, and that way you can create something that relates back into your model. So here we have the torso done. Now we've got to think about heads. Now I've got a couple of heads that I've done. I'm still not too sure which ones I'm going to go for, so we can decide now. So let's have a look. So we have alien spiky tongue face, or we have sticky out tongue. Now I kind of prefer the sticky out tongue to alien spiky tongue face, so we'll put that to one side and we'll go for this head here. Now I'm going to take a little bit of plastic glue. For this I'm using my Model Mates Rocket plastic glue because I really like it. It's a nice brand to use. And I'm just going to put a bit in there. I'm then going to take my head section and I'm going to plonk that on there. Now I want it slightly tilted because that's always quite menacing when they, an alien like, when they slightly tilt the head like, oh yes, I'm going to smash you up, and then when I finish smashing you up I'm going to take you back to the pool and chuck you in it. So I want that sort of like tilty head look about it. Now I'm going to leave that to dry for a second and we'll come back to it when it's dry. And welcome back. So here we have our head section and upper body and the tail. So we've got this nice look about it like that. Oh, that's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So let's turn it around. Here we have it. So it's slightly, it's very alien looking, isn't it? It reminds me of H.I. Geiger and his beautiful pieces of work that he did. Okay, so obviously the next step is to put in our arms, and for our arms we're going to be looking at a lash whip and a good old sword. So let's have a look. So what do we got here? Well, we've got, here's our lash whip, and the nice thing about these, we can actually sort of like, if you're careful and you don't break it, you can actually give it a bit more of a, saying that almost sounded like I broke it then, and a little bit more of a bend in it, because this plastic is slightly forgiving, but not too much that it just snaps. Now you can actually take a hairdryer to it, and that will slightly give it a bit of bend, so you can play around with it. Now we are looking at the upper sections, so I want that kind of look where we've got our whip it's almost like it's to one side. So let me just have a look at that. So that's got a slot in there. Now it's going for the upper than the lower, because it seems to be like all the weapon arms go in the top section and the hands are down below. So I want it like that basically. So he's coming in. Now I'm going to use some super glue for this because I need this to bond straight away. And saying that, it never does, but it's just what I'm looking to do. So I'm going to put that on there. So I don't use too much, just enough to get it wet. And then I spray that. Oh, just not the camera, I do apologise. I've sprayed some activator to speed it up. Now I'm looking for this to be about there. So I need that to dry. Like so. Okay, so that's now in place. Now I moved it slightly because I kind of like the idea of it there, and what I'm going to do with this arm is I'm going to have this arm as though it's blocking, so it's just coming up like that in front, and that's the idea. So it's just there to block the blow from the Marine. So that's what I'm going to be looking at doing. So I'll see you in a second once I've glued it all in. Hi guys, welcome back. So I've gone ahead and I've stuck the arms in. So let's just bring this bad boy forward. Now I want you to have a look at where the lower arms are posed. So if you forget for a second that there's a top set of arms, let's just block those out for a second and just look at the lower side, the lower sections of the arms, and relative to how the legs are paced and the way the legs are set, sorry, and the arms are set at on the middle section, it kind of works. So if there was no top section, that would be a fantastic, beautiful little pose. So we'd have one arm set back where the other leg's set forward. There's a twist in the body. The back leg here is pulled back, and then that arm is brought round and wide and brought forward as well. So it kind of works out really well. So the whole section of this looks really nice. There's a lot of movement to it. It's dramatic, and that's what you want in your poses. You want a lovely piece of dramatic work there that makes it look really, really exciting. So when that's on the battlefield, there's a lot of movement in it, and once you've painted it up, that's going to look exceptionally cool. So in the next video that we do for painting up the Hive Warrior, or Tyranid Warrior, Tyranid Warrior, we'll do a painting video and we'll look at what we can do with it. So guys, for now, you be good, you be safe, and I'll see you very, very soon.